So I'm not going to end this thread yet because I'll need it for these few beads, and maybe we'll have to fill some spaces if we see some at the end when we do our kind of final check of how it looks. For the embroidery thread, I use a sewing needle. I'm not sure what size it is, but basically, does it tell you sizes here? I think it was maybe this one, 6.8. But basically, I divide these threads in half. So each thread is made of 6 little threads. So I work with 3 at a time. So I literally divide it in half. 3 threads here and 3 threads here. And then it threads really well into this needle. The needle can't be big enough. I mean, I could have used, sorry, it can't be too big. Let's see, somewhere in here I had a really big one. If I use something like that, it's like one of the bigger ones in the set, that's not gonna work because it doesn't have a very sharp end, and when it goes through this foundation, it's gonna leave a huge hole and it's gonna be very visible. So I use a sewing needle that's a little smaller than that. So I'm going to divide my thread in half. Sorry, I'm doing it off screen here because it's easier. There we go. So these are my 2 halves. And I'm going to thread one of them. By one, I mean 3 together. If that makes sense. So let's do the gold first. I can start my thread somewhere in here on the back side. Start from the lowest segment, lowest golden segment. I'm basically going to do very simple stitching across to create this illusion of the filaments of the feathers. And I purposely don't do them too close together and leave some wide gaps between the threads. It just adds to this look and feel of a real feather. So I'm literally just gonna start here and start stitching. To be more conserving of the thread, once I stitch it down there, I come out of the same side too. Yeah, this happens. So when you leave some thread hanging, you gotta make sure it doesn't tangle. I just kind of squeeze it with my pinky here and try to keep it away from what I'm working with. from the knot here. See, there's some gaps between the threads. That's really good. So in this fashion, I'm gonna do these, I'm gonna fill, I guess, these 4 spaces.